Okay, hello. It says we're live, and I'm so glad. And all this blonde hair of mine is shedding everywhere. It tells me the warm weather is coming. Suzi Quillen here from Perfectly Knotty. I am your stitching coach. I am your Empress of Yarn, and I love sharing my projects and my real live stitching experiences with you so that you can follow along, you can get encouraged, just be entertained, whatever. So, I have an update on the vest project for you, and I'm kind of excited about the progress we've got so far and what's coming next. It really feels like it's coming together. And I will just start out by showing you. We're just going to kick it right off by showing you the vest. If I can do this, it still feels a little Edward Scissorhands with all of the things going on. But let me get the yarn pulled up out of the way, and I'll hold it up. And this is what it looks like so far. It's super cute. I got the left shoulder seam done, and I wanted to talk about a couple of things because there's a lot. Once you divide the body of it and you divide for the right front and the left front and the back, there's a lot of stuff to keep track of. And you've got multiple aspects of yarn that we're working with. And because I'm working from two skeins at the same time, because I'm stranding, it does make it even more of a challenge to keep track of all the things. And so I wanted to show you a few things. I put the stitches for the back on their very own circular needle, which made it a lot easier when I did the shoulder seam. And to do the shoulder seam, so if you recall, I had the shoulder seam pieces on this stitch holder along with their extra yarn. And the pattern calls to have me join a certain number of stitches from the armhole edge of the front to the armhole edge of the back. So what I did for that is I put those stitches on a double pointed needle, and then I just left the remaining stitches on the stitch holder and moved them out of the way. And then I used a 3 needle seam bind off, and that ends up looking really neat and tidy. I like it. And then on the outside, the show side, it looks really pretty good. I think I want to work on that a little bit better. So on the other side, so the two shoulder seams might not match exactly, because when you're holding the two layers together and you hold them together, right sides together, show side, the public side together. And when you do that, you have a knit fabric facing you, and then you have the purl fabric toward you. And when you do that bind off, traditionally you're going through both stitches from the knit as if to knit. And I'm not really sure that I like that, because that means that on the back piece right here, which actually ends up being the front, the way that I did it, because I did it from facing on the back, you're going into that purl stitch as if to knit, which makes garter stitch. And while it doesn't show, I think it could be better. So I'm going to try something a little bit different on the other side. But because this is also a bind off, I did do something extra that I haven't done before. And what I did there, imagine with me, if you will, I joined the two front and back stitches together and knit them off together onto my right hand needle. And then I slipped that back onto the front needle. And then I went knitwise into both of those and into the one in the back. And then I knit through all three of those. It makes a little bit stretchier of a bind off. The most typical way that I've seen that 3 needle bind off done is that you go through your 2 stitches on your needle over here onto this needle. There we go. Go off of these 2, turn 2 stitches into 1, and then do it again, 2 stitches into 1, and now you over here you have 2 stitches, and you lift one, the farthest one, over the one on the end. I don't like that as well. It's not as stretchy, and I didn't want it pulling in. This actually gives it a little bit more give. So I do like that. And we're going to just see what happens on the other side. I saw my granddaughters yesterday. We went on a little family adventure with their great grandpa, my dad, and their mom. It was a whole family adventure to kick off their summer vacation. So that was fun. So I got to hold it up. I didn't have the shoulder seam done at the time, but I did get to show it to them and hold it up against one of them just to see how it was going to fit. I think it's going to fit them just quite lovely. And the review is that they really like the color. They think the color is great. And they all agree that it's the color of Floyd the frog. And if you don't know about Floyd the frog, you can hop over, see what I did there? Hop over to Perfectly Knotty on Instagram, or just go onto Instagram and search for the hashtag, all one word, Floyd the frog goes places, and you'll see about Floyd. Floyd's been a little bit quiet on the Instagram lately. He's kind of getting itchy to do a little traveling. We might have to do something about that this summer. But I wore a plain black shirt because I'm going to try this on me today. I haven't done that yet. And we're going to just see if I like it on me. And then I'll stand up. So I've got a lot of stuff going on because I've got the part of the front yoke on this stitch holder, and then the seam, and then I've got the back pieces on their own needle, and then I've got the very beginning of the right side. I just added the yarn, started the yarn for that this afternoon. So I have a lot of things going on. It feels like I'm putting on a porcupine. All right, as you can see, let me move my camera a little bit. Here we go. As you can see, it's a little bit small for me, but it's not so horribly too small. Where's the other side? Oh, there it is. Okay, there's the other side. It's all caught. There we go. So yeah, it's too small around, but it will, it does get a rather wide band that goes all the way around the front, which is what we use to join the seams together. And I can tell in the way that this fits that I will want to make sure that on me that I make this armhole opening even a little bit more generous than what the pattern calls for. Right. Because this, yeah, I will want to make it because this is I made it just the size for theirs, which is only a 1/2 inch smaller than the armhole for my size. And that feels like it would be too snug for me. So I think I will make this even a little bit more substantial, especially once you go to put the edging around the armhole opening. But in general, I like it. Look at that. It's super cute. I'm happy with the little bit shorter length that I had planned on doing. I think that's pretty good. And especially once you make this armhole a little bit taller, this is going to be even down a little bit longer. So that's going to be really good. So you guys, that's the basic report we've got going on there. It's really cute. I'm super happy with it. I'm enjoying the process. One of the ways I wanted to talk a little bit about managing and navigating, keeping track of all of the different sections. Once you section off for the right and left front and you're working those different pieces. We talked the other day about the stitch holders. I got to move my camera again. There you go. Oh, too much. Sorry about that. Hope I'm not making you seasick. Okay. We talked the other day about using the stitch holders, which is really important. But also, just using another cable needle is super, super helpful. And that way, when you need to transition stitches from one thing to another, you can access that from both ends. You can put point protectors on, or you could just sort of cross them over each other and stick it into the fabric like that. Just depends on how much movement you're going to have with it. So that has kind of been my tip on keeping track of the right and left. It's been a little bit of a challenge having all of these balls of yarn going at the same time. It does want to get tangled. I was really thankful. The instructions did not specify to cut the yarn after stitching the left shoulder seam, because you're actually using the yarn from the back and then you stitch in, and it really could have called for cutting that yarn, because I had all of it going and I was like, oh my goodness, I need to do the right front and I'm going to have way too much yarn attached, and that was going to start feeling even more awkward. But as I read ahead, the yarn that's attached to the left front is what will be used to take all of these live stitches from the left front placket over the shoulder, around the back, over the next shoulder, and to the next placket to begin the hood. And so this needs to stay attached. This got cut, and then I used this to reattach over here for the right front. Sounds like a lot, doesn't it? And it can feel really overwhelming, especially when you try to pre-think all of these things. We hear a lot of times to read the instructions and make sure that you know what it all says. And sometimes that can really overwhelm us, and it can make us think like something is much more advanced of a project than it actually is. Something that my mom taught me as a kid when I was learning to sew and learning to read and follow sewing directions. And it's something I have brought with me into my knitting and my crochet, and I teach it to you, and I'm going to tell you right now. And that is this: read the instructions, kind of glance through your instructions and make sure that you understand what the terms mean, what the terminologies are. But as far as how each row or section's instructions are written, don't try to absorb it all in one sentence. Read it one punctuation mark to another punctuation mark and do just what it says in between the punctuation marks. If that punctuation mark is a period or a comma or a bracket or an asterisk or any other kind of punctuation that is in your instructions, just work from punctuation mark to punctuation mark, one step at a time. And if you have to use Post-it notes to cover things up as you go, do it. Just do it. Or if you have to make a photocopy of your page and line things out as you go, do it. Because each of the individual steps in and of themselves are not hard. The hard part is when we try to read all of it too much at a time and think we can just memorize and do it. I don't even do that, and I've been doing this a long time. So I still have my sticky note here with all of my little notes that I'm making to myself. So that way when I go and start the version of it that will fit me, I have my notes and I'm remembering, and I can come back and review these videos if I need to, right? Document your progress. Some people will even go so far as to have stitching journals, actual journals where they're writing out all of their project things and the dates and things. Some other people do that in Ravelry, and they'll go in and they'll update their notes in Ravelry. So don't be afraid to document, because it helps all of us. And on that note of Ravelry, I've been thinking that when I'm done with the practice version of this, I might actually create a couple of Ravelry project files for that and tie these back to the YouTube videos, because other people might find this pattern and they might be encouraged to see that people are doing this pattern. That's kind of how those algorithms work, whether it's the algorithm on social media or here on YouTube or even in Ravelry. The more people that are engaging, the more people will see it. So I'm going to pause right now and ask you to please do the YouTube things. Subscribe to this channel, click the like button, make a comment. Let me know, are you watching live? Are you watching on replay? All those YouTube things. You can even do super thanks and all kinds of fun stuff in there that helps to support and encourage me. So I love it when you do that. I love it when you share. That just inspires me and encourages me to keep bringing you helpful tips to help make your stitching journey even better. And on that note, I just want to share that the Stitchery Collective is open for registration until June 30th for founding members, and then it will close until later in the year. Stitchery Collective is a brand new membership where we get together once a week on Zoom and we have conversations like this. However, you get to participate in the conversation. You get to show me your project and ask me questions, get feedback from the other members, get encouragement. And founding member price, you get to keep it as long as you are a member. And as we work together to build this membership, it will become more and more valuable and the price will go up. So I do want to encourage you to sign up for that now. In the comments, I will put a link to that. Let's see if I can do that right now. I thought I had it open. I did not. So we'll pop over here to the website, to perfectlyknotty.com. We'll go to shop now. We go to classes and workshops, and then there's Stitchery Collective right there. All the details are listed as the membership is right now. This is an annual membership. I'm going to put this in the chat. And when I get off this live stream, I will go and put that in the description down below so you can find it there. So it's going to be really fun. We've got a nice group so far started. We're going to have our first Zoom meeting next week. We're going to meet every Tuesday afternoon. We're going to spend a little time together. We're going to encourage each other. We are going to learn some stuff. And the more that you participate in Stitchery Collective together, we can build it and make it your membership. This is you helping to direct how I can best serve you and this stitching community. So I appreciate you hanging around with me for a little bit this afternoon. I can't wait to see you. Make sure when you go over to the website that you do sign up for the email newsletter. I send stuff out there. Sometimes I send things a lot and sometimes not. Kind of like just chatting with a friend, right? Sometimes you're in close communication all the time, and other times it might be a couple weeks. So that's the story. That is the current story of the vest project. Turn that around. There we go. I'm very happy with it. I'm liking the, if I can get this to lay. There we go. I'm really liking the way that the cables look. Really happy with that. I think it's going to be really fun. Curious when it gets ready to do the hood about the rhythm of keeping the cables and joining where the cables meet at the top and having that work out. That's going to be fun. So that's my story. I'm so glad you're here. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you watching, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Don't forget to go watch the whole playlist and find out from the beginning about this fun little vest project. Talk to you soon. Don't forget to like and share and comment.